Alrighty, we are going to do our review for Module 4, which is basically operations with fractions. So the first one that we are doing is applying the greatest common factor and least common multiple to fraction operations. So how do we apply greatest common factor in this one? We're going to do cross-canceling. So I'm going to look diagonally from each other. So I'm going to look right here. We're going to call it the butterfly effect. I'm going to look at the greatest common factor between 4 and 4. So in that case, I know that the greatest common factor is 4 because both of the numbers can be divided by 4 and get a whole number out. So then I'm going to say 4 goes into 4 one time. So that's my new number. And then 4 goes into 4 one time as well. And I'm going to look at the other ones diagonally as well. Remember, you can only cross cancel with multiplication. So 6 and 3 have a common factor of 3. That is the greatest common factor. So then I'm going to say 3 goes into 3 one time and 3 goes into 6 two times. Now I have my new number. So I now have 1 over 2 times 1 over 1. Remember that we multiply straight across, right? So then I have 1 over 2 and I am done. That cannot be simplified any further. If you forget to cross cancel, you will still get the same answer, but again, it kind of defeats the purpose of us knowing our greatest common factor. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then 6 times 4 is 24. The greatest common factor is actually 12, but if you remember that any number that's with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 is divisible by 2, so I can do by 2's. Then I get 6 over 12, and then I can, hopefully you see that the common factor is 6. So that will be 1/2. So same answer. Ooh, the magic of math in your brain. Okay, so here we go. Let's get to this one right here with subtraction. So first thing I have to do with subtraction is because I have a mixed number, I have to change that into an improper fraction. And how do I do that? I'm going to multiply my whole times my denominator, because remember that's the portions that I'm cutting my whole into. And I'm going to add this 3 extra portions, right? So 1 times 5 is 5 plus 3, that will be 8. And remember, I keep the same denominator. Okay, now this is where I'm going to use my LCM, my least common multiple, okay? For addition and subtraction, our denominators have to be the same. In this case, they are not the same. So I'm going to look at my 5s and I'm going to look at my 6 and I'm going to figure out which one is the first one that shows up first in the multiplication table of those two numbers, right? So my LCM, my least common multiple, so that I can count by 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, and then this one will be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, and I already see 30 right there. I didn't really have to do that, but just to remind you how to do it when we list, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write them diagonally just so the conversion looks a little more clear. So then I want to have those as my denominator of 30, okay? So then I'm going to say, okay, what did I do to the 5? What did I multiply by to get it to 30? So in this case, it was 6. And remember what I do to bottom, I had to do top. So that will be 48. And then right here, I multiply by 5 to get to 30. So then same top and bottom. So now I have 48 over 30 minus 25 over 30. Remember that when we subtract or add, that's why we have to have the same denominator. So I just keep the same denominator and I'm going to subtract my numerator, my tops. So then 48 minus 25 is 23. Okay, so that will be 23. And I cannot simplify because 23 is a prime number. So this will be my final answer. Okay, so here we go. Let's go over here. So remember with division, there are 2 ways that I taught you. So you can multiply by the reciprocal, which we call keep, change, and flip. So I'm going to keep the first one, change my division into the multiplication, and then flip this one. So I'm going to make that the reciprocal. So let's do it that way, and then we can use the ping pong method. So I go 1 over 3. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to change it, and then I'm going to flip it, right? So 9 over 7. Now, you guys, right here, I can cross cancel again. Now, if you forget to cross cancel, you can use multiply straight across. That will give you 9 over 21. And then you have to look at a common factor, which we have a common factor of 3. So then 3 divided by 3 is 3, and 21 divided by 3 is 7. But if we cross cancel, which I recommend that you get used to, I'm going to look at them diagonally, and they do have a common factor of 3. So 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times. And then I go straight across. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 7 is 7. Voila! See, same answer, different method. I personally prefer cross-canceling because that's just the way my brain works. And then we have a problem right here. So we have you cut. So we're going with word problems. And I know you guys might not like them, but they help you be critical thinkers. And this helps connect and create those new or already existing neural connections in your brain, and it also is real life situations that you can apply this to. So if you have 2.5 yards of ribbon and you're cutting them into 1/8 of a yard pieces, how many pieces do you have? Well, think about it. Don't just go with the numbers and just, okay, I'm going to add them, I'm going to subtract, I'm going to divide, I'm going to multiply. Reason. So what is this asking us to do? Okay, think about it, visualize it. I have, 2.5 yards of ribbon. Okay, and I need to cut them into 1/8 yards of pieces. Cutting, right? So that means if I have this much yards of ribbon, I'm gonna cut it right into 1/8 yards each piece. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So it's not asking me, how much total. That would be addition, or the difference. That would be subtraction. So use keywords, right? Cutting. That means I have to divide it. Okay, so then I'm gonna do 2.5 divided by 1/8. Okay, mixed number, I'm going to change that into an improper fraction. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So I'm going to have 5 over 2 and then divided by 1 over 8. I'm going to ping pong, and then I'll show you how to do the keep, change, and flip. So 5 times ping, right? That would be 40, and then pong. 2 times 1 is 2, and I know that 40 divided by 2 is 20. Okay. If I keep, change, and flip, I will be keeping, changing, and flipping, and I can cross cancel there by 2, so that will be 2 goes into 2 ones, and then 2 goes into 4, into 8 4 times, and then I have 5 times 4 is 20 over 1, which is the same as this. So then I end up with 20 pieces of ribbon. I'm going back to this one because I forgot to ping pong. Okay, so remember, ping ponging is cross multiplication, not cross canceling, but cross multiplication. So I'm gonna ping, 1 times 9 is 9, and then pong, 3 times 7 is 21, and then I can simplify by 3 after this. So I end up with 3 over 7. Same answer right here. Okay, so here we go. Let's get to dividing mixed numbers. So remember, when we have mixed numbers, we have to change it into improper fractions. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1, that would be 10. 10 over 3 divided by 2 over 3. Okay, I can keep, change, and flip, or I can ping pong. So let's keep, change, and flip first, and then we can ping pong. So I'm going to keep it, I'm going to change it, and I'm going to flip it, right? So I'm multiplying by the reciprocal. I did it because I can see already. I was able to see that in my brain that I can have a common factor of 3. So 3 goes into 3 once, and 3 goes into 3 one time. 2 times 1 is 10. I'm sorry, 2 times 1 is 10, and then 2 times 1 is 2, and that will give me 5. If I ping pong, I will go ping pong. I know that that will be 6, and I know that 30 divided by 6 is 5. So same answer. Okay. Again, changing to proper fractions. So say 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25. And then 4 times 7 is 28, plus 2, that's 30. Okay, I don't want to, on this one, I do not want to ping pong because I have big numbers. And I know I can do it, but I'd rather not. So I'm going to use what I know. So I'm going to keep it, change it, and flip it, because I can already see that I can cross cancel some things. I cannot cross cancel 3 and 7 because they don't have a common factor but 1, and that doesn't make any difference. So, but I look at 25 and 30, and I know that they end with a 0 or 5. That means that they're divisible by 5, so they have a common factor of 5. So 5 goes into 5 times, and 5 goes into 36 times. Now I have 5 times 7 is 35, and then 6 times 3 is 18. Now, you guys, I have an improper fraction right here, so I have to change that into a mixed number, okay? So you basically divide 35 by 18. So that will be 1 time, and then let me do it your way because I don't want you getting confused. And I have a remainder of 17. So this is my big whole number. This is my remainder, which is my numerator. Okay, how many pieces I have left, and then this is always right here is my denominator. Okay, Now, let me show you what my brain basically does. I go, how many times is 18 going to 35? 1, because 2 times will be 36. And then I go, okay, from 18, I already have 18, right? So basically go 35 minus 18, that will be 17. Because, again, to go from 18 to 35, I need 17 more. So then I end up with the same answer, just without doing this, okay? So let's get to the last one. So this one says that you bought a $6 book and then you bought another one, 1 1/3 time as expensive. So we're gonna solve multi problems with fractions and max numbers, and again, real world situations, right? And then they're asking me how much money you spent total. Okay. So the first thing I have to say, okay, what's the information given? Well, you're buying a $6 book and then you're buying another one that is 1 1/3 times. Okay, that gives you a hint, times as expensive. Okay, multiplication. So I'm going to say 6 times 1 1/3. Okay, now I need to change that into a fraction. So I'm going to put it 100. And I need to change this into a mixed number. I'm sorry, into an improper fraction. So I'm going to say 6/1 times, and then 1 times 3 is 3 plus 1 is 4/3. And then I can cross cancel there. So with 1 time, and then this is 2 times. I'm dividing by 3. And then 2 times 4 is 8, and then 1. So, okay, so this is, you guys, this is only the second, this is the price for the second book. Okay, so this is the price for the second book that you bought. Okay, now that is not the answer, because the answer is saying how much money did you spend total. Well, the first book that you bought was $6, and then the second book was $8. So now you're gonna think, okay, do I add, subtract, multiply, divide? Well, total, that's the hint, right? So that's giving you a hint what to do. Remember, total, sum, that will be addition, difference will be like subtraction, times, of course, multiplication, and then when you're cutting or dividing, that will be division. So a 6 plus 8 is $14. So then you spend $14 total buying those 2 books. Okay, so you don't have any words, the problems to do on your Flipgrid, but make sure that you understand the concepts. And remember, with multiplication, you can cross cancel and use multiply straight across. You don't have to cross cancel, but it is recommended that you do, especially when you have big numbers, and then simplify. Make sure you give me the simplest form. With addition and subtraction, you must have that same denominator. That's why we use the LCM, which we also say at the end of the day is basically our least common denominator. You have to get it to that, okay? And then you subtract the tops and then keep the bottoms the same, and then simplify. Division of fraction, you can use 2 methods. You can do keep, change, and flip, which is multiplication by reciprocal, or you can ping pong, which is cross multiplication, okay? And then again, you have to simplify. Remember, you guys cannot use ping ponging, you cannot cross multiply with multiplication. Multiplication, you just go straight across, okay? Once you change it, once you keep, change, and flip, you have to go across. Please do not ping pong after that. Division of mixed numbers, same idea. The only thing is you have to change your mixed numbers into improper fractions. And how do we do that? By multiplying whole by denominator, adding my numerator, that goes in my numerator, and then I keep the same denominator, okay? And again, you go back and do multiplying by reciprocal, which is keep, change, and flip, or you ping pong, which is cross multiplication. And then lastly, solving problems, you have to realize and think, okay, what information am I given? And analyze what is that question asking you to do. After you do that, and then you set up your problem, and then you solve, okay? God bless you. Remember, math is magical, and you are amazing, right, Mark? Blessings.